as you all know, we have a goal, of course, as a company to go number one and to be the biggest company, of course, in the world. That's a very nice goal. But, of course, we have to know very clearly what actions do we have to take to accomplish this goal. Of course, goals are goals, but we have to make sure that goals not are just funny dreams promoted on the meetings, but we have to clearly know what actions do we have to take. And the easiest and best way to do this is very simply to find out what do the worldwide market leaders do. Very simple. Okay, what do the biggest companies do? And then we can compare ourselves and we can easily see what is the difference between Amway, 11 billion euro a year, or dollar a year, sorry, or SLP, all right, $3 billion a year. And of course we can say, yeah, that's because we do e-commerce and this and that. But in the end, we have to break down exactly to the little tiny pieces. Okay, where does the success, the network success always is volume, where does the volume comes from? Okay, so we prepared a little meeting for you, and then we have very, very good news for you by the end. So stay tuned to get all the live news today. Now, the first thing that we did, of course, is we make a survey. We checked out Amway and SLP exactly because there's a lot of new companies always coming up and say, hey, we're hot, we're great, blah, blah, blah. But they come and they go. And the real leaders in the world market, okay, these are these big companies. They do billions for billions for billions and for many years. So they know how to do this, okay? So let's check the numbers, for instance, from Amway and for SLP. I already told you they do 11 or $3 billion dollars a year. And, of course, they do it with a big number of distributors. So now we have to check how do we get this number of distributors, because we have an existing business and you have a so-called new business. And this new business comes around 20 to 30%, even for the biggest companies, from new distributors. Okay, so new distributors start a business and then they start bringing new business. So if we think about 30% could come from the new distributors, which are, of course, estimated numbers from me. That could be higher or smaller, but let's say around 30%. I think that should be a good, appropriate number. Then this would mean if every distributor joins Amway or SLP with the average turnover from $200, that would mean for Amway 15 million new distributors a year, and for SLP 5 million new distributors a year. Now this sounds crazy in the first moment, but trust me, that is absolutely reliable. So if you check this by numbers and you just check how much could that mean from the turnover by monthly numbers, then you see, okay, Amway is recruiting 1.2 million distributors a month, okay, and SLP is recruiting 400,000 new distributors a month. Right, and of course they do it because they have much more open, successful countries like we have at the moment. But this is the way, okay, where they're going. So if you take the top 50 countries now, okay, which are the 50 best countries of Amway and SLP, and you say, okay, what average do they have? So we can compare us, We can compare Belgium or Germany to the top 50 countries in average, not to the best country, to the top 50 average countries. Then you see in the top 50 countries, Amway or SLP are recruiting between 8 to 24,000 distributors a month in average. Okay, this also sounds a lot, but it's not, because when they have 80 training centers in each country, then they have 100 new distributors per month for each training center, which I already know you can accomplish. So that is not a problem. It's just a numbers game. Okay, now let's check the reality from last year and let's compare ourselves so we know where we are at the moment. Okay, I took 3 countries just for comparison so you can see how big we are now at the moment. Okay, now let's say Hungary last year, they built up 4,800 new distributors, which is not too bad, but of course they stopped recruiting a little bit because we have existing business there, but that means only 400 new partners a month. Now, if you compare this to 24,000 new distributors that Amway is doing per month in each of their 50 top countries, that's nothing. Okay, we have to honestly say that's 1.5% of what Amway is doing in each country. Okay, I give you just a comparison so you know it by numbers. Let's say an Amway distributor would be 2 meters high. Then 1.5 centimeter would be 3 centimeters. Okay, so for them, for an Amway distributor, welfare distributor at the moment is like a small ant, a little animal crawling around, but not a real competitor at the moment. Why? Because that has nothing to do with Webstar or Alge or Kinedo or Genio. It's just the plain numbers because we're not enough people. Okay, so Belgium 3,000 people last year and Belgium 1,000. So that's the average of 200 because Belgium is not there the full year. With that 200 people, okay, you are less than 1% of what the great companies are doing. So that's why our first goal must be to hire up to increase the number of new distributors. Because without a lot of new distributors, we will never get the volume of new volume and existing volume. So let's see who is the best country in this year. I took the 3 best developing countries at the moment. This is Hungary, Slovakia, and Belgium. Okay, the rest is also good. Don't worry, but these are the 3 best developing. And now we take these 3 countries, and I said, okay, each of them must minimum recruit 40,000 distributor. Then we will have minimum 10% of already what Amway is doing in each country. Okay, so this is the absolutely minimum goal where we have to go this year to have some success. Okay, and this is very, very important for us that we reach this goal. Now, we have to, of course, understand where are the numbers of people coming from. That's very important because at every meeting we like to stand at the flip chart and then we tell people if you recruit 2 people and they recruit 2 people and so on and so on and so on. Then in the 12th level you have 4,000 people. And of course, that would be a nice thing if this would happen. Now, the problem with this understanding is, of course, this must be 2 strong legs and not the 2 only legs you have. If most people and most distributors and leaders that I know, they only have 2 legs. And that's not 2 strong legs. So if you just have 2 somehow legs, but not strong legs, they will not duplicate correctly by 2. Okay, so maybe if you have 2, normal legs, let's say it like that, they may duplicate by 2 in their 2nd level. But then after, from the 3rd and 4th level, you see they will not have a proper duplication. That means you will not have 4,000 people in your 12th level, but much, much less. Okay, so if everybody's just duplicating by 1 instead of 2, the numbers will not get much higher, and you end up with 50, 60, 70 people in your pay line. And then you can check it on your bonus one every month. You will see it yourself. So if you have a little volume in your pay line, that means very simply very poor duplication. Okay. Now what can you do for this? Very simple. You have to recruit more good leaders because if you have, let's say, 5 good legs, the chance to have 2 strong legs within 5 legs, of course, is much, much higher. It's very simple mathematics now. Let's see. Even if they don't duplicate perfectly, even if these 5 only bring 3, and this 3 again bring only 3, and now they duplicate only by 2, and here you see in level number 5, that's not even proper duplication, only 1.5, and even less here, doesn't matter. Because in the first 4 or 5 levels, you have so many distributors that even if the lower levels don't duplicate perfectly, it's still enough. Now you have 1,500 people in your pay line. There's 2,900 PB because everybody's making his own reorder and some new distributors or customers. So that's about 3,000 PB, 300,000 euro in your pay line, and you will earn a very, very, very good income with that. Okay, if you want to get a little bit higher, you will go from 5 to 10 legs after some time, because if you have 10 legs, for sure you will have 3 very strong legs. They can go Crown Ambassador, and that's your best way to triple Crown Ambassador. Okay, so that is the very big way. You see here the increase, okay, from 67 to 1,400. You just recruited 3 more active legs, and from 5 to 10, you grow from 1,500 to 16,000 people. You see, so if you want to increase the number of distributors in your team, don't go deep. Okay, of course, going deep is more fun. Most people, most leaders that I know prefer working deep. Why? Because working deep is the joy in the business. If I work deep, I can sit myself in the hotel or make a meeting. That's a very lazy and simple business. and just tell my downline, you bring some guests and I make the presentation. This is just eating the chocolate instead of eating the whole food. If I recruit frontline, this is the networker's work. Much more work. I have to make the contacts. I have to make the ads or talk to people. I have to call them up myself. I have to make the appointments. I have to make the presentations myself. I have to sign up the person myself. I have to educate the new person. So this is much, much more work than to work deep. That's why most leaders, of course, prefer working deep because they can always say, yes, I have no time to do the real work because the fun work took all of my time. But that's in real life. You cannot have fun all day long and expect to make good money. That's not working out. So you really have to make the job that gives you the money. And if you see these numbers, I think everybody can see it very simply. Where the money is right here. Okay? If you hire these numbers, you will be successful. If you increase these numbers, of course. If you increase these numbers, you get a lot of lazy leaders that don't work themselves. Okay? Of course, you have to help your downline, but not all the time. Don't make them lazy. Don't make them babies. Okay? Help them duplicate, but also make sure that you increase the numbers of your active legs to 5 or to 10, and then you will have solid business, and everybody in your downline sees, hey, he's doing the real work. He's not just doing the joy and the fun work. So we will also start doing the real work. But if you only do the fun work, you don't do the basics yourself, you just sit there in the hotel waiting for people. Everybody sits at the hotel and wait for people. If you don't work the real job, they don't work the real job. Right? So that's very simple, okay? So very simple, go where the action is. Yes? Where the real action is, where the money is. And this is, of course, in your first 2 levels. So if you work here, your team will explode. Okay? So that's very, very, very simple. Now, what does that mean for you for time management? Very simple. Okay? 50%, of course, you should stay with your existing decks. Don't leave them alone. Okay? Of course, you have to stay with them because they still need you, but they don't need all your time. Make a clearly separation. 50% of the day or of the week, I will work with my existing legs, but 50% strictly, I will do the job that is no fun but work, recruiting new leaders, because this is where the money is. Okay? So the 50% I will show you right now here is making 5% of the income, and the future income, if you want to hire up, increase your income, 95% of the money is coming from the new legs. Right? This is what you have to know. 95% of the money of the future is coming from the new legs. That's why real network leaders always work new. Okay, so, but we have a stable business. I tell you, 50% working in the existing legs, even if it's a regional president or a manager or a director, help him to get the better networker and work with him, but strictly minimum 50% new legs. And that means frontline and their downline. Okay, I'm building up a new person. I'll help him to become director or president. And this should take minimum 50% of my time. Okay? Now, what does that mean for you exactly? Very simple. That means for you much more income. And this is why we have a new idea. Okay? Now, let's have a look how it is at the moment. Okay? At the moment, you get paid a level bonus depending on your position. You have an average of 5%. Okay? Now, of course, I understand every leader who say, Christian, I earn 5% on my old leaders, and I earn 5% on my new leaders. Now, of course, with my old leaders to make more volume, it's much less work. I just call them up, I motivate them a little bit, bring some people, we sign them up. That's not much work. And if I have 100 PV, I take 5%, 500 euro, was not so much work. So that's joy work with a lot of money. Why should I work frontline with all the work and I also only get 5%? It's much more work. Recruit a new person, answer all the stupid questions, do all the ugly basic work. Of course, nobody likes that, but this is where the real money is. Now, Jörg and me were sitting together and we were thinking, what can we do that you will love to work with new people? And of course, networkers also love to make good money. Of course, everybody's a businessman. So he said, if we can hire the income on new people, I mean, drastically higher, if we increase It's not by 10 or 20%. This is what other companies do. You know me. I'm not the guy for 10% or 20%. I'm the guy for double and triple. Okay, so that's where I'm going for. Okay, so if you would know, hey, on my new legs, I can earn 3 times the money than on old legs, then of course you will work with your old legs for stability, but you will concentrate on your new legs because this is where the cash is coming from, right? So what did we do? As you already can see from today, okay, active from March, the whole March already, right? You can have a level bonus from 5%. And on your new lines that you personally sponsored, including the whole downline, we will pay you out a performance bonus of 10% unlimited depth. What does it mean? That means tripling your income from average of 5% plus 10% to 15% on each level. Yes, it's not a mistake. You heard it right. 15% on each level. What does it mean? Normally, a new partner is very motivated because he gets 15% on his 6th level in the fast start plan. You know this 5, 5, 10, 5, 5, 15. That's a good income and everybody's running because it's big cash for them. Okay, for you now, you will have 15% on all your levels in the new legs. When you build up a new front line and you help them to develop, you can pay 50% on all the levels if you qualify for the performance bonus. So this is the main goal because now you know, wow, this is now 3 times the money that I can get from new legs. And of course, this is absolutely fantastic to make good money. Now, what does that mean? In the qualification, what do you have to do? Okay, let's explain it very clearly so you understand what you have to do. First of all, you have to be a director yourself, minimum or higher, of course. So you cannot have the performance bonus if you're not a director yourself. Second of all, the performance bonus is paid out on your new lines. That's why we call it the fast start new volume. Okay, that means your volume with new people in their fast start. Okay, so I will explain it exactly for you so you understand what I mean. If you recruit a partner and he's out of fast start and you became a director in his fast start, okay, does not count for you. If you have a manager already finished with fast start, does not count for you. If you have a trainee out of fast start, that does not count of you. Also, the volume of their downline does not count for you because it's out of fast start. Very simple. Now, you recruited 2 new legs, and while they're fast start, while they are in fast start, not their downline, they come in later maybe, but they're fast start, okay? They start beginning of March till end of April. In this time, all the volume that they do, you can have 3 times the money. Very simple. Okay? Now, we want to have some goals. Okay? So not just any volume will get to have 3 times the money. No, we want you to support these people correctly. So what does it mean? If you reach a PV volume with your new people of minimum 100 per month, that means helping your new people minimum to director position or higher. Why not helping the regional vice president or national vice president? Okay? Our job is not to recruit new people. Our job is to make new people successful. There's a big difference in it. Okay? So, what do I mean by this? Make your new people successful. If you recruit 1 or 2 new people, and with this 1 or 2 new people, you make 100 PV in that month, we will triple your income. Okay? Very, very, very simple. Okay, qualification for that is minimum 100 PV with new legs. Second qualification, you must be European Pool qualified, but this is what you have been anyway. Okay, in this way, you have the 4E1 or the 8E1. All right, and this is very, very, very important for you. Now let's have a look how this looks with your new line. I make you 3 examples so you can understand how this can work. Let's say you recruited somebody in February. Does that count for March? Of course, it counts as long as his fast start goes. So if you recruit somebody in February and his fast start goes till the end of March, all the volume that he's doing with his downline counts for your fast start new PV. Okay? If his fast start is finished, let's say in the middle of March, you have to hurry up because only the volume that he's doing till middle of March will count in your fast start new volume, and what he's doing out of his fast start will not count anymore for you because he's not in fast start anymore, of course. So let's say this first guy, he started somewhere in February, and then March is doing till the end of his fast at 50 PV. So you already have 50 PV in the bank for your qualification. Now you recruit a new guy, and you pump it up to 100 PV, going for direct or even higher. Very good. Now you're already on 150 PV, and maybe in the last week of March you start one new person, and you make 30 PV. Okay, then put everything in March because everything counts for your fast UPV. So you have to make sure you reach minimum 100 or you have the normal bonus. Okay, if you have more than 100, goes up, performance bonus, pushes in, and your income is exploding. Okay, now you see in this example, you have 3 guys. Okay, you can also do it with 1 guy, but this is just an example. You have 3 guys running, you're building with them 50, 130. Congratulations, 180. That's 2,700 euro only from the new business, plus pool, plus existing business. Interesting? I think so. Now in April, of course, this guy fastened over, so he's off. Okay, and you see from the 2 lines that you already sponsored in March because they're still in fast start. Okay, you have 100 plus 200 PV. So with the old lines from March, you can also qualify in April and simply even do 300 PV. So congratulations, 4,500 euro only performance bonus, plus pool, plus normal bonus. I think we will have some interesting incomes in the next weeks. This is also available from today. So from the whole of March, all the one that you did in March with new lines is already counting for that. So I think we will see some new income records very, very quickly. Okay, now let's have a look. What does that mean exactly for you? Okay, now you have a new partner, and now you know, okay, what do I earn when my new partner becomes successful? If you build up a new director, even if you need 30 partners because they come in average with 3 PV, doesn't matter, that's no work. That's 1 new partner a day that is added in his downline. It's not a work. You get 1,500 euro extra for that. If you help somebody become a regional vice president, there's 4 partners a day, so I work with him every afternoon, 2-3 presentations. Also no problem, you get 6,000 euro extra per month on a new regional. And of course, the good guys go for national, so that's 300 partners, okay, in average, that's 10 partners a day. So every evening I make a small meeting with this guy, maybe even in his home, right? My record, therefore, is 78 people in my home on one night, 3 meetings, of course. And this is very, very interesting because this gives you 15,000 euro extra, plus pool, plus normal bonus. So hey, find a new guy, get international, 15,000 bonus. I believe that's nice. I think Belgium and the other countries in Switzerland and Italy and Germany are full of people that look for big success. So don't recruit them, make them successful, big difference. Now let's have a look. What is the difference between people that sit on one leg and people that earn the whole bonus plan? Okay. Because sometimes people come to me and say, Christian, I have some volume, but I don't really earn much money. I say, yeah, well, because most times, or 99% of the time, it's because they're sitting on one leg. Okay. And in no bonus plan of the world, you get rich with one leg. Right? So this is what you have to know. Now, I have some examples. What happens if you now start building a second or third leg? Now, let's have a look. You're a director and you have one leg with 100 PV. All right? Now you can earn an average of 5 euro for each PV, then you will go home with 500 euro, maybe. All right? Depending how much of this volume is in your pay line. If they go out of the pay line, then it's even less. So with one leg, it's up to 500 euro. Okay? Of course, not more, because with one leg, you're not full qualified, nothing. So now what happens if you build up a second leg, again with 100 PV? First of all, you qualify for the pool, right? And with a higher pool now, 4%, that means you move into 4% European pool, and that means you will see it now, big increase in European pool because of more percentage and a little qualification, 1,000 euro per month. Plus, you get 15% on your extra 100 PV with a new leg performance bonus, that's 1,500 euro. That means 2,500 euro that you earn because you build one more leg. You move up from 500 euro to 3,000 euro because you build up one more leg with 100 PV. Interesting. So that means, as a director, you can go home with 3,000 euro, all right? Very, very interesting with only 200 PV because you're working in new legs. Right? You see the difference. 500 euro, one leg, And 100 PV the second leg, 100 PV extra can give you 2,500 euro extra. This is where the money is. Actually, it's 5 times the money. With the pool, if you only have one leg, with the pool, it's 5 times the money if you go full power now. Okay? Very simple. Now let's have the next example. You're a regional vice president. You have 250 PV in one leg. And I think some people already know, hey, that's a good example somehow, no? Okay, now let's have a look on this one. 250 PV, now you're not even earning 5 euro for each PV, but only 40 euro. Why? Because as a regional vice president with only one leg, good leg, you're not even qualified for regional vice president level bonus because you don't have the 250 PV in the other leg. So you will only pay as a senior director 7 levels, and that means maybe around 1,000 euro as an income. That's not very sexy. Now compared to the other bonus plan, it's very sexy because in Amway on one leg you get nothing, FFP you get a little bit on binary, you don't get anything. Okay, so 1,000 euro is good money, but of course you don't get rich with it. Now let's see how to make real money. If I build one more leg with the same volume means same work. All right? I do 250 PV in a new leg. I find a new guy, help him, motivate him, work with him every day. First of all, I qualify for the regional pool. And you will see the new regional pool because of the more money, bigger percentage. Instead of 5%, now we have 7%. It will move up to 3,000 euro in average. That's already nice. And now you get performance bonus, 15% on that 250 PV. That's 3,750 euro. So your income will grow up, move up, increase from 1,000 euro to 7,750 euro. Okay, only with 500 PV and organizational volume, right? So that's very, very interesting. If you want to really increase your income, I hope you understand now how to do this. Okay, 50% all legs, but 50% focus on new legs and make them big and make them successful, right? Old legs, of course, because you need the strong legs still with 250 PV for the pool, okay? But also 250 with new legs, then the money will go up very strong. One more example, national vice president, if you only have one leg, that's even worse, because again, you only get paid as a senior director, 7 levels, makes an average of 3 euro, you will go home with 1,500 euro, all right? Now you go full power, build up your second leg or third leg, you are in the pool, that means 5,000 euro at average earning with a higher pool now, plus a performance bonus on 15% on 500 PV, and that's 7,500 whopping euros. Okay, so I think that's a quite nice, interesting income. Just to build up one more leg with 500 euro gives you 12,500 euro additional income. And that adds up, of course, from 1,500 to 14,000 euro, okay, earning with 1,000 PV. And I know a lot of partners of you now are online having this goal for this month. So I think you should be very happy, right? For the plan that you already gave me, I gave you a lot of money back. So go full power, accomplish this goal, and trust me, if you show this money to your leaders and they see, ooh, these guys are making 10, 12, 14,000 euro as a regional vice president or national vice president, they go berserk, right? So this is what your job is, to show them what's possible. Okay, one more example, international vice president, if I have 1,000 PV, right, I only get paid 7 levels, that means one leg only, 2 euro, 2,000 euro, or now I build a second leg, then I'm qualified for the pool, performance bonus on the second leg or third leg with 1,000 PV, and that means from 2,000 euro with one leg, I can jump up to 24,000 euro with only 2,000 PV. All right, and that means on the second 1,000 PV, on this 1,000 PV I'm building right here, I can earn up 22,000 euro additional money. So I don't have to explain very much. Say it very simply, the big money is in the second and third legs. So build up new active legs. Don't build 2 legs, build up 2 strong legs, okay, or 3 strong legs, and you make really big money. There's urgency with those guys, recruit them, and then work day in, day out with them, not see you on the meeting, bring some guests, but meet every day. Every day, 4 or 5 hours, full power with the new legs, and then they will explode, like we have explosions now all over Europe, with new people signing in 3, 4, 500 people in their fast start. Why? Because they work every day with their upline, right? So this is possible.